So the quarterfinals are done. We have our Champions Cup semi-final lineups. It is going to be Leinster versus Northampton. That is at home in Dublin. And then Bordeaux versus Toulouse at home in Bordeaux. So those home sides are really going to enjoy some home advantage, and Leinster are going to be big favourites, that's for sure. The second one, that looks pretty close. We'll talk about these games in a bit more detail. I did do a full match report on Leinster before, so not so much that one. I did try and upload one last night for the eagle-eyed of yours, but it only uploaded a minute or so, so I'll talk about Northampton as well. But yeah, Bordeaux versus Toulouse, that's going to be very close. Bordeaux had a very exciting game. Tries galore versus Munster. Indeed, the Leinster game, Northampton game and Bordeaux game all had loads of tries. And the Toulouse-Toulon one was a lot closer indeed. But Bordeaux really showed what they could do in the first half hour as Munster were really caught asleep. And that really cost them. They'll be gutted they didn't put up more of a fight because they did come back into it. But Bordeaux, when they're on, they're amazing. They can do funny things as well, and they got in a lot of yellow card trouble at the end there, but they just scored some great tries to start with. 5 minutes in, we see just pure pace, a chip in behind, and Pinot's got too much pace for fullback Abrahams. Just a little grubber there. So that was, again, something from nothing, as they said in the commentary. And then Pinot again burns past Nash. Oh, goodness me, Pinot looks really quick. He does do funny things, as we saw in the Six Nations, and again in this game with a slap down yellow card. But anyway, it's a bit of a mess as Pinot's grubber isn't very good, but Luku gets the touchdown. And the next is more pace again, this time from fullback Echegari as he steps to create space for Samu. Nice offload inside. And even before we get to half-time, we have another one as well as Munster are just chasing ghosts there, not at the races at all. Biel Barry with a bit of stepping this time out wide on the left, and Echegari getting a deserved try himself. So it looks like it's going to be 29-3 at half-time before Munster wake up. They muscle one back, so it's 29-10 at half-time. But Munster just not, slick enough. Their line-out was a real mess. They got shredded in that first 30 minutes, and they do come back, but it's too much to ask. Bordeaux, crazy dangerous. Can they perform like that against Toulouse? I don't know. I think Toulouse will be a lot stronger, a lot tighter, and not have a sleepy 30 minutes. So I think I might still edge it to Toulouse, even though Bordeaux are at home. But that one is really close. Let me know what you think. But if you had to push me, I think I'd say Toulouse still. They've got some class there when they get going. Bordeaux, are they allowed to get going like they did against Munster? I'm not so sure. The Toulon-Toulouse one was very much a kicking affair to start with, not a try-fest like I said, and it was just a goal-kicking battle, and that was won by Jaminet for most of it as he kicked a stack of goals before Toulouse actually started to dominate the game finally, and the power came on. Jack Willis coming behind a ruck from a tap kick, so that was a good try to power over, and Willis, he is good enough to go on the Lions tour. We've had good discussion on this channel, but he is good enough. But the problem is, of course, he didn't play for England. So is it right if he goes? And also, he could well be involved in the latter stages of the top 14. So he'll be late joining the tour. So because you've got lots of good back rowers, is it worth disrupting it just for him? I still think he goes. I still think he's good enough. But put the discussion down below in the comments. Love to know. And then more power from Toulouse as inside centre Aki powers over some more defenders. And it looks like they're pulling away. But again, the kicking comes to the fore. Jaminet's nailing his and Ramos just can't. And he's normally what I say the best goal kicker in the world. And he leaves it until the 80th minute to get the winner. They should have been home by then. And they just sneak it 18-21. They were the better side, but boy was it close. So finishing on the short match review of Northampton versus Castres. I tried to upload it last night, just didn't work. A brilliant performance from Northampton at home for sure, but they scored a stack of tries and Castres just weren't good enough in the end. The first half was very close on the scoreboard, but Saints were always, I think, the better team. The first Saints try I thought was a brilliant team try in transition. Lovely athletic take on the steal from Alex Coles in the line out, and he had to get up at the front of the line out, and you have to be super quick there, the lift and the jump. And then Freeman goes wide down the right and just stops and goes. Shows he's got even more pace than he had last season, and it's a 1-2 into George Furbank, and Freeman scores that one. Furbank was on very early, shouldn't have been. Hendy got a horrible injury. Maybe that puts him out of a potential England summer tour, which he may well have been going on. So Furbank got too many minutes, but he looked great, but he went off holding his arm. The reports are it might not be too bad. He's coming back from a broken arm. Furbank got one himself, actually. So actually had a great game apart from going off, but hopefully he's okay. Hendy, though, doesn't look too good. Castres defending probably wasn't quite good enough. A little shifted drive from Saints was nice. Throw to the middle, then shift to the front. But really, they should have got a bit more on it as they just couldn't defend it at all. And Coles just flew over with no resistance. Not very good. Castres had some good possession, it's true. And Saints did turn over some crucial balls. So some good defence from Northampton as well. But in the second half, Castres allowed too much time and space for Alex Mitchell, and he cut them apart with his pace. He could crab across the pitch, make his breaks and offloads. You just can't give good offloading nines like that. No, too much space. And that is where Mitchell is at his best. And if he plays like that for England, he looks good. If he plays a more structured game, he doesn't so much. One of those Mitchell breaks was quite funny as Alex Coles was on his shoulder, trying desperately to be the man getting the try. But just roaring past him was the Rolls Royce that is Henry Pollock, who rounds the cover as well. Time for a bit of showboating. He scored a second, even more showboating, and I know that Pollock's going to be the pantomime villain for England when he starts playing regularly, which he will. The England fans are going to love him. I certainly love him. He's very aggro as well. But I think opposition fans and players are not going to like him. So I can see that old English arrogance tag coming to the fore. I just think he's got great personality and he's just got that will to win. And then Tom Pearson scored a try right at the end and Castres barely tickled him as they pretty much melted away. So great display from Northampton. The predictions though, Leinster at home. Surely Northampton can't play that sort of loose, fast game against Leinster as that Jacques Nienaber defence is going to swamp them. So Leinster huge favourites, Northampton a complete shot to nothing. They've got huge firepower, but so do obviously Bordeaux against Toulouse, even though I'm saying Toulouse, I am saying are the favourites, even though they're away from home. But two cracking semi-finals. What's it going to be in the final? I am saying Leinster versus Toulouse, but let me know what you think down below. Pop all the comments there, and I'll catch you next time.